a new Mason Park Butterfly Garden fountain. This is video 13 of my Mason Park Field Notes series. The Butterfly Garden at Mason Regional Park, William R. Mason Regional Park in Irvine, Orange County, California, was established as a dedicated habitat around November 2010, though the park itself opened in phases starting in the 1970s, and the land has a long history as part of the Rancho San Joaquin. This habitat was intentionally planted with native plants to support the entire butterfly life cycle, adults and caterpillars, and serves as an educational spot within the larger regional park. Here's a map showing the park and the location of the butterfly garden, which is on the lower left, and I'll blow that up. That's where the arrow is. So I'm going to show you what the area looked like on December 7th, 2025. So here's the entrance to the butterfly garden. Notice that there is on the right, a board which has information about butterflies. Very useful. Here is the entrance to the loop. It's a loop around the garden. Plants have labels indicating their names. And here's the old fountain, which hasn't been operating for a few months at that time. There are 2 benches within the butterfly garden. This is one of them at the rear of the photo. Another view of the old fountain area. I've only been in Irvine since March of 2025, and I don't remember it generating much of a water flow when it was active. A view of the opposite bench from the fountain area. I'll use that bench to try to record birds bathing when the new fountain is installed. Hopefully they will be attracted to it. And that's a view of the old fountain area from the bench. You can see there's kind of like a window that my camera can peek through. The old fountain became difficult to maintain, so difficult that it was decided to replace it. This video documents the process and the results and lets the public know that it's available. So December 30th, 2025, moving the rock. So this is where the old rock is going to go, where the cone is. It couldn't just be lifted up by park personnel. They had to bring in a bulldozer. The crew cleaned up around this rock in advance. Here's a close-up view. So on that morning, after I took those pictures, the heavy equipment arrived. You can see a number of vehicles here. The bulldozer had to maneuver to get to the old fountain area. And I also took video of the proceedings. I'm well away from the action so as not to interfere with the work. So you'll hear the noise of the operation. The crew is aware that I was filming. The bulldozer left its mark on the trail. And here we are with the rock toward the entrance now, maneuvering it, and then trying to place the rock in that area. So each time you visit the butterfly garden, that rock will present itself to you, and you'll know how it got there. Here's what the old fountain rested on. It's a water reservoir underneath it. Close-up view. There's going to be a float mechanism to fill this when the water level drops too low. And here is our new entry rock, our old new entry rock. I went back in early afternoon to check on their progress, to see what they did with all this tracking situation. You can see what it looked like at the beginning, at the morning. So on December 30th, I did a look again. I walked back there and looked at how they had tidied up the area. You can see the tracks are gone. And they had barricaded out off the area. They cleaned that up, removed a lot of the small pebbles as well. Look back toward the entrance. No tracks. Now, after December 30th, there were many days of rain in the area and no opportunity to complete the process. But on January 8th, 2026, the new fountain was placed in the butterfly garden. Show you that. A lot of people were involved in it, including the park ranger on the right. Had to hook up all of the pipes. I stayed on the opposite bench, not interfering with the workers. And there is the fountain in place. Still needed the rim of rocks around it. By afternoon, the area had flat rock put around the fountain. And on January 9th, when I went back, show you the finished look of the fountain. And a little closer look at it. On January 13th, 2026 was my first visit to the working fountain. Would birds be attracted to it? I'm going to show you between 8 o'clock to 8:32 a.m. on January 13th. I sat on that other bench and peered through the vegetation at the fountain, at the new fountain. And here's my vantage point here from the bench. I had a little monopod on my camera. So at 8:10 a.m., a hummingbird visits near the fountain. That was neat. Gonna go in it. Oh, there's the hummingbird. Well, all right, let's see what's gonna happen. Then at 8:10, and also another visit at 8:11, a yellow-rumped warbler, it's a winter visitor here, visits near the fountain. And No, didn't stay around. They come back and peaked. But then at 8:12, the Yellow-rumped Warbler actually did go into the fountain and took a bath. That's why it's called a Yellow-rumped Warbler. It's also called a butterbutt nickname. And then this Swinsoe's white-eye decided to view the scene. That is a non-native species that was introduced within in Orange County, probably because the pet trade is very common now. At 8:15, another or the same Yellow-rumped Warbler took a bath. There might be a second bath for it. It'll be interesting to see how many different species of birds will use the Mason fountain. And then at 8:32, an Allen's hummingbird took a bath. You don't expect an Allen's hummingbird to immerse itself really much in water. It tends to stay around the water current going over the side of the rock. It's actually molded from a real rock. I understand it's a concrete fiberglass model. That was a male Allen's hummingbird. So I thank the group at Mason Regional Park who decided to restore an important bird resource of the park, and to let me know when the project was going to be done so I could document it. Thanks for watching this video. It's part of a growing set of YouTube videos on Mason Regional Park. The first 5 titles are above. And the next 5, these are all my YouTube channel. And then the last 2, white pelicans are feeding on mosquito fish at Mason Regional Park. So this is another of my JDW talks on YouTube. I now have over 1,000 subscribers to my channel. So join my YouTube channel to enjoy the outdoors of Orange County, California, and Mason Regional Park, and be informed when a new video comes online. I have talks on genealogy topics, census, Ellis Island, immigration and naturalization, and I'm well known for that. I also have many talks on natural history topics, virtual birding field trips, birding optics, talk about how to use spotting scopes and the nature of binoculars, California birds in Mason Park nature notes, and a bunch of miscellaneous zithers of what I'm interested in. So go out to Mason, enjoy the butterfly garden, and if you're lucky and quiet, and you might see some birds that are bathing there. Bye-bye.